Good morning and welcome to this month's OakCrest Insight. Today I was fortunate enough to be invited to a lunch with the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, and I wanted to share with you some of the highlights. Now, I'm not going into the 90 minutes of detail like they did, as I would definitely put you to sleep, but there were some big picture items that I took away that I think are valuable to all of our clients on the current state of the economy. The first item they'd spent time discussing was the issue of a recession with the volatility in the stock market over the last 6 weeks. What is good to keep in mind, and what they reminded us, is that a recession needs an outside event typically to alter the course of normal behavior. We stop traveling or buying stuff like we normally do. It's a shock to our economy. In 2001, it was the attack on the US. 90s, it was a war in Iraq. These events cause our behavior to alter during this time, and currently, we just haven't had an event like this. So whenever you hear someone forecasting a recession, ask the question, why do you think this? Because when you listen to the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago talk today and look at the numbers I'm going to give you, we are in very good shape as an economy here in the US. First of all, GDP growth. GDP is a number all economists follow, or gross domestic product, and the goal for the US every year is to be at 2%. GDP growth over the last year has been around 3%, which means our economy is growing faster than the goal. This is a good thing. So even though growth has slowed a little, we're still above the projected 2%. The expectations are GDP growth of 2.4% in 2019 and 1.8% in 2020, according to the Federal Open Market Committee. When you compare these numbers to other countries, you can see the US remains one of the strongest countries in the world today. The overall summary the Fed Reserve Bank of Chicago discussed is the outlook for the US economy is to expand at a pace above trend or above average in 2018 and 2019, and then close to trend in 2020 and 21. Trade, they discussed, US has the lowest trade restrictions in the world until recently. The tariffs could impact GDP growth by tenths of percent, but not recession numbers. Interest rates back to normal by the end of 2019. And this is a good thing, as our economy is less reliant on the Fed to keep our economy growing. Employment is expected to rise moderately, with the unemployment rate remaining low. Inflation is forecasted to be at the Fed's inflation target through 2021. Housing is predicted to improve at a modest pace. Manufacturing output is expected to increase at a rate above trend in 2019. So what's the bottom line? Well, the bottom line is that the economy is moderating versus overheating. We've experienced growth of 4%, and now the Atlanta Fed's GDP now forecast is 2.5% for this quarter. Investors and consumers react uneasily to uncertainty, and our job is to keep you from overreacting with the current state of the economy. We're going to continue to pay close attention to all of these economic numbers for clients. Our expectations shouldn't be 20% market returns like 2017, but more modest numbers as the economy continues to grow. I hope this was helpful and informative for you, and I'll continue to keep you informed on events and discussions that I hear going forward that I think are relevant to today's topics. We look forward to seeing you next time on OakCrest Insight.